Okay, I will use this emoji. Okay, nampak tak?
Ya.
Okay, maksudnya session kita dah hampir ke penamat lah. Okay, nanti moderator akan terus untuk Q&A session. Okay, itu sahaja untuk maklumat.
Okay.
Sebelum tu Encik Wong, boleh saya tahu tak macam how to pronounce this company how to pronounce this?
ThyssenKrupp.
ThyssenKrupp, okay.
Ya.
Okay, so first speaker Mr. Wong. Mr. Wong. Nanti Encik Luqman kita semua akan tutup dulu video. Hanya moderator dan Mr. Wong sahaja. Okay, nanti bila part Mr. Wong dah habis, moderator akan Encik Luqman sebagai speaker kedua pula. Okay, masa tu Encik Wong pula tutup video. Okay.
Okay, macam biasa kita akan start dalam berapa minit lagi. So saya akan start dengan video promotion dulu, 2 video dengan video teaser program kita. And then saya akan share satu poster session ni. And then Aainaa akan start introduce kita punya first speaker, Mr. Wong. And then after that, bila dah settle saya akan tutup stop sharing. Mr. Wong akan start, boleh mulakan lah. Okay, saya mulakan lah Facebook Live.
Earth, home sweet home. Have you ever wondered how vast the treasure that exists within the earth? It is beyond amazing on how much the earth keeps this treasure deep within itself. Tin, copper, and even gold are actually all originate from our sweet big home. Well, those are what we call as minerals. Speak about gold and stuff. Exactly, who are the ones that discovered the magnificent treasure of the earth? Now, that is the job for mineral resource engineers. Let's find out more about mineral resource engineering. I am Aainaa and I'm your virtual student assistant. Alright, mineral resource engineering focuses on areas of extraction and processing of the earth's mineral resource through the aspect of technical, environmental, and economic. Mineral resource engineering also prepares the engineer for a career in advanced mine design and planning, ground control, processing techniques, and drilling engineering. These are the fundamentals to extract the Earth's precious discovery. Wow! So, how to become a successful mineral resource engineer? Whoa, this one looks interesting. Let's click this one.
University Science Malaysia is the only university in Malaysia that offers this amazing course. Be proud because USM is one of the leading universities with excellence in mind. USM stands among the great need in Asia with the ranking of 34th and 142nd in the world according to the QS ranking in 2021. School of Material and Mineral Resource Engineering are located in a very strategic and conducive location in Penang. It is near the famous tri-border of 3 states, which is Nibong Tebal, Penang, Parit Buta, Perak, and Bandar Baharu, Kedah. Your study will take around 8 semesters, which is almost 4 years. For first year, you will learn about the foundational concepts such as physics, math, coding, and drawing. In second year, you will learn about the introduction of mining, mineral processing, and mineralogy. In your third year, you will learn physical and chemical mineral processing, modeling and simulation, and also mineral economics. And in your final year study, you will learn on mining engineering peripheries, mine plan and design, and also internship. And the best about mineral resource engineering in USM is that you will get the opportunity to have industrial visits in every semester.
So, what are you waiting for? Join us now and discover endless potential by being a successful mineral resource engineer. #MyResUSM. See you there. Thank you for watching.
Mineral Resources Engineering Program is the only program in Malaysia that offers specialization in mining and/or quarrying and processing of metallic and non-metallic minerals through conventional and advanced technologies. This program also includes simulation and modeling approaches, especially for mine and plant design, as well as comminution and sizing related circuit design. This program prepares graduates for employment as mining, quarrying or mineral processing engineers, or even as metallurgists. Courses offered are basic engineering courses, geology, mineralogy, surveying, mining engineering, geomechanics, mineral processing, extractive metallurgy, environmental engineering, and other courses related to mineral extraction. Mining applies many different branches of science and engineering to understand how minerals can be extracted from the earth. Highly trained engineers and scientists are therefore needed by the mining industry. Mineral Resources Engineering Program primarily prepares engineers that are responsible for the safe and economic production of mineral and rocks. They work with metal ores, coals, industrial minerals such as clays, granites, silica sands and limestone. Mineral Resources Engineering students are well equipped with knowledge on mining geology, mining and mineral processing, and ready to be placed in mines and quarries upon graduation.
Okey, para hadirin semua, kita punya sesi akan bermula sebentar lagi.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Syed Fuad bin Syed Hashim. I'm actually an alumni of Mineral Resources Engineering Program. And I'm currently the lecturer also in Mineral Resources Engineering Program. My field of expertise is mineral processing. So before I joined as a lecturer, I'm actually an assistant metallurgist in Malaysian Smelting Corporation. as assistant metallurgist, I'm looking into the process of refined tin and everything. So, but currently I'm part of the teaching staff for Mineral Resources Engineering program in University Science Malaysia. Okay, Mineral Resources Engineering is actually a unique program being introduced back in 1985 to cater for a mining industry in Malaysia per se. So, but the program is not really focused in one particular field that we are talking about, just mining. The unique about Mineral Resources Engineering is they are covering three scopes of important in mining, which is geology, mining, and processing. And continuation from there, we are also taking care of the subject of environmental control while doing the mining. So the key component in Mineral Resources Engineering is actually the mining part and the processing part, which we also being supported by the geology subject that covers the whole spectrum of Mineral Resources Engineering. That's the unique part about Mineral Resources Engineering program offered by University Science Malaysia. Okay, when we talk about minerals, people might refer that as a mineral water or something that not relates to what the subject matter of mineral is all about. But realizing or not, mineral is around us and we need minerals in our daily life. Starting from baby until we do construction, all need minerals. For example, while you are doing your diapers for babies, you might include fillers like limestone to make the diapers. You need talc for babies that come from minerals. You want to do your construction of your house, you need bricks that come from minerals, sand and gravels. You want to make beams for your highway and everything, you need aggregate that come from quarry, either granite quarry or like limestone quarry. So these are the example of why minerals are important. In fact, during your plastic making, your rubber glove and everything, they need fillers. Why the fillers came from where? From the minerals, limestone, silica, you name it. Those are the things that being used in your daily life. Minerals in your toothpaste, in fact, they have minerals inside there. Therefore, the importance of mineral is very, very important in our daily life, and that's where we need to get the minerals from our earth that God given us. Okay, when we talk about Mineral Resources Engineering program, they are specific in nature, okay? So these students that graduate from Mineral Resources Engineering program, they will end up in vast industry from mining, quarrying, and also into the downstream where they control the environment, what the effect of having the mining being done. So the importance of Mineral Resources Engineer is very clear. People might ask where our student will end up as they graduate from Mineral Resources Engineering program. Okay, we have been producing our students back in 1985 until now. They are all over sector, private sector, government sector, and also in fact, they work overseas as well. So I'll take for example in mining per se, I mean they end up in most of mining industry in Malaysia like gold, iron ore, and other types of mining that are available within Malaysia. You name it, you go to any mines in Malaysia, you ask them, they are graduate from USM, which is Mineral Resources Engineering. Also in quarries, we have more than 300 over quarries in Malaysia. And remember, most of these quarry required quarry engineer or mining engineer to work over there to get the good human capital to really look into the subject of quarry development and blasting and so on. So they need specialists of minerals background or mining background that we produce. So these are the students that will end up in most of the quarry as well. So upon that, our students also being trained to do some elective subjects that cover the oil and gas as well. So some of our students also end up in oil rig, for example, offshore, doing analysis of geophysics of the data where the oil is. So they're being trained in such a way as well. So that actually some subjects that are being introduced to really enhance our students to be more flexible in entering the job market. But the most important thing is, with any other subject, you need to be excel in every subject, every courses that you take. For sure, you have a good personality, you will end up having good jobs and good career path. All right, so I've already covered most of the importance about Mineral Resources Engineering program. You see the unique about the program. Therefore, come, join us, be part of us. Let's get thrilled and let's get motivated with this program, and we're here to teach you the rest.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera kepada semua. Selamat datang kepada yang sudi turut serta dalam Alumni Talk Session pada hari ini. Yang saya hormati barisan pensyarah, speaker-speaker jemputan kita dan hadirin sekalian. Okay, before we proceed with our talk session today, let me introduce to all of you with our super speakers. Okay, for your information, we have two speakers for today, for this session. Okay, saya perkenalkan dulu latar belakang untuk speaker pertama, iaitu Encik Wong Loong. Beliau merupakan alumni program Mineral Resources Engineering pada tahun 2006 hingga 2010. Kini beliau bekerja di ThyssenKrupp Industrial Solutions sebagai Head of Sales Service Asia Pacific Region. Okey, tanpa kita melengahkan masa, let me welcome the first speaker of this talk session to present his topic, which is about Prospective of Mineral Resources Student in Cement Industry. Okey, sebelum itu, untuk makluman semua, sesi soal jawab akan dilakukan pada setiap akhir sesi speaker. Okey, Encik Wong, boleh mula, persilakan.
Okay. Let me share my screen first.
Alright.
Let me know once you see my screen. Hello?
Yes, I can see. Okay.
Okay,
Clear.
so I can start now.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So very good evening to everyone. So first of all, just have a very quick introduction about myself. My name is Wong. So I'm actually an alumni of the Mineral Resources batch from 2006 until 2010. So before I go into the topic of today's regarding what is the perspective of mineral resources students in the cement industry. So before we asking what is cement, I think just a quick introduction about my career path. So I was a graduate in the USA in the 2010. After that, I was working in the cement plant, Lafarge, for about 6 years until 2016. Then I joined another cement company in Singapore, which is Green and White Cement, for 2 years. And after that, I joined the current company, ThyssenKrupp Industrial Solutions, which is a German company, one of the main cement plants, turnkey supplier or builder since 2017 until now. So it's total about 11 years of my experience in the cement industry. Okay. So what is cement to everyone? So cement might sound a bit simple to everyone, but in our technical term, cement, we call this a hydraulic binder. So a hydraulic binder is an organic chemical reaction where when we pour in the water into this cement, it will form a crystal structure of a mineral, and once it gets dry and dehydrates, it becomes a very hard and tough material. And cement is normally comprised of 4 raw materials, limestones, where we get the calcium carbonate coming from. We have this alumina clay, where we need the alumina contents. Then we have some content of the silica sands, or coming from the sandstone. And last, we need the iron ore, which we need the Fe2O3 of the iron ore. So these four are the main components where we form a cement. And what is cement? So just how I mentioned, cement is a binder, a substance used for construction that sets, hardens, and adheres to other materials to bind them together. So when you see a concrete, so concrete is a combination of cement with some stone, with some sands. And sometimes we add the additional additive to make the concrete harden. So these are the main components when it comes to the concrete for the construction. Then cement actually is world most consumed commodity after water. We always say water is the most highest consumed commodity, and actually cement comes just after the water. We use cement every day in our life because this is the century of urbanization. Everyone stay in the buildings that are built by cement or by concrete. Also, cement is one of the cheapest building raw material. If you compare the cement price, again, you're building a building with a steel, cement is much cheaper. If you are building a high-rise building with a very expensive other material, cement is also considered cheaper and more practical compared to other raw material. Also, this is a basic element for urbanization. So what is meant by urbanization is that more and more people and more cities are moving to the city area. With more populations in the city, we need to develop more structure, and this is a basic element to support the development of a city, of a development of a country to become more urbanized. And more people can stay in the better building compared to in the rural area. And what are the main factors that currently influence a country's cement industry? So cement is a very complicated product. When we talk about the cement industry, it's not just about selling cement. There's a lot of factors that contribute to whether a cement will be higher demand or lower in demand. So this come together regarding with the economics or the political scenario. So when the country are developing, they need more structure, they need more building, they need to build the bridge, they need to build the highway, they need to build more buildings. So this also directly impact the cement demand in the country. At the same time, the political scenario is very important. So example, if a country have a very high fluctuation in terms of this political stability, there will be a very slow development for their economic. Of course, we also need to consider the cost structure in the different countries. Example, cement that produced in the China or cement that produced in the UK, they have a different cost structure because of the currency, because of manpower cost. At the same time, we also need to consider a country legal regulations for the environment scenario, the advancement of the technology. Example, if a new country build a new cement plant, the cement plant will be more advanced compared to some old country like in Europe. Most of the cement technology was built a century ago. So those cement plants are still remain the old technology compared to the new cement plants. And one of the very important is that geographic advantage. Why is this important? We mentioned about the raw material of the cement is the limestone. So you must have the resource of the limestone in order to build or produce a cement. And the last one is regarding the urbanization and population growth. When you have a higher growth of urbanization or higher growth of populations, this indicates directly your growth or your demand in the cement industry. So cement in general is not only about the great walls. It's not just about the great highways. It's also about the beautiful and very safe building. You see some structure here, the bridge, the highway, the dam. These are all built by cement. And these are the cement plants. So how big is a cement plant? We will show you later about what is cement plant and the cement process. And next, just to go into the detail about what is about the cement market in Malaysia. This is information that we can extract from the Global Cement Directory. As you can see here, China is the highest cement producer worldwide. And in South Asia, Vietnam is the third in the worldwide cement production, even higher compared to US. And where is Malaysia? if you see in the another chart here, in the Southeast Asia, Asian is comprised of 6%, contribute 6% to the world cement production. And in this Asian cement production, Malaysia is only 19 million tons of cement production. And this is actually a very small contributions in the Asia Pacific. We are actually quite behind Vietnam, Indonesia, or even Thailand and Philippines. Okay. However, when we go into further look on the Malaysia cement industry, we have about seven cement plants in Malaysia. This is a distribution of the cement plants in Malaysia. So most of the cement plants are located at the peninsula, and there's only one integrated cement plant in Sarawak. And out of these seven cement plants, YTL Cement is having 56% of the market share, followed by CIMA. Then we can see the next are Tasek Cement. CMS is the only cement plant that located in Sarawak. Then Elbot is a very special cement producer that the only cement plant that produces a white cement. Then we have a Hume Cement, and the Sabah Cement is just a grinding station. So all of this, we have about 7 cement plants in Malaysia, 10 cement integrated plants, which have total of 18 kilns, and we have 7 grinding stations. And the total cement production is around 19 million tons. So how much is 19 million tons of cement production? Is roughly about 5.5 billion ringgit of the cement sold in the annual basis. And we can foresee in the next 2 to 3 years that there's an increment of the cement demand for about 2 to 3% every year. So you can see the cement trend in Malaysia for the past 20 years. The high cement demand is at the year around 2015, where there's a high development in Malaysia. But even after that, we have quite a consistent cement demand throughout the years. Although last year or this year, there's a quite heavy impact in terms of COVID situation. However, there's a very optimistic forecast on the future cement demand and also the cement industry in Malaysia. Okay, so for the cement production, this is a general cement production process. Cement is starting from the quarry. So we have a limestone quarry in the cement plants. So beside the limestone quarry, there's also other raw materials such as the silica sands, the iron ore or alumina clay. So all these limestone quarry will go into the crusher. So the crusher here will crush the limestone to a smaller size, from a 1 meter cube to around 30 to 20 millimeter cube. So it's a downsize from 1 meter cube to around 20 to 30 millimeter cube of the limestone size. And this limestone is further going for the grinding process. Grinding process is to produce the cement powder, the raw meal powder, which have only 90 micron. So the second picture here you see is the grinding product after the limestone have the further grinding. And after the grinding, it will go to the burning process. So this burning process is to remove the carbon dioxide or CO2 from the raw material. And in this burning process, the temperature is about 1450 degrees. So you can see inside the burning process, inside the kilns, the raw material is heated up, become something like lava in the kilns, and have a quick cooling, become a clinker. And this clinker is later mixed with limestones and other cement additive to produce a cement powder. So this is a general process of a cement production. And how big is a cement plant? This is a very general layout of a cement plant. So this is only the layout in the plant itself, not including of quarry. So this plant, if you compare to a football field, a normal cement plant is normally about a size of 40 to 50 of the football field size. So if I see here, the football field is maybe just a small corner in the whole cement plant, and the plant's total area is about 40 to 50 or even higher. And the quarry itself, it at least 4 to 5 times bigger than the cement plants. So this gives you a very quick understanding how big is a cement plant looks like. Okay. So you can see this is a view of an actual cement plant from far. You have the quarry somewhere behind here. Then you have the equipment. Here is whereby the cement are heated up, burned at a temperature of 1450 degrees. And it will later store, and the product clinker is stored here and further grinding to produce a cement. Okay. This is a very nice cement plant with 5 cement plants seated side by side in Saudi Arabia. And this is one of the cement plants. It's a very high building. So you see the height here is somewhere around 70 to 80 meters high. And now I come back to you about what is the general cement process. Okay. So as you can see here, the cement process is a one-way process. You start from the crusher to produce a fractional size of the limestones, which can be used in the downstream process. After you have the limestones, you always blend with the other raw material to get the correct ingredients we need to produce a correct cement quality. So in this phase, we actually call a blending bed. So this blending bed is to blend the limestones with the iron ore, with the alumina clay, with the silica sands at the correct recipe. This recipe is later grind to produce a powder. It's called a raw meal powder. This powder is with a size of passing 19 microns, and this powder is further burned in the preheating or burning process. This burning process, we call it a preheater, which is a very high tower you see in the picture previously. And this preheater, the purpose is to release the carbon dioxide from the raw material. So, for example, the calcium carbonate, it will release the carbon dioxide. The alumina oxide will release the oxygen, become only LOU. The silica sand will remove the oxygen from become only the silica. Then, of course, the Fe2O3 will release the oxygen, and only the iron are used to blend in the process. And in the process, you will see the complete blending of the raw material, the recipe, in the lava form inside the kiln with the temperature of 1450 degrees. And this material is quick quenching down to form a clinker. So clinker is the size of about 20 to 30 mm in size. And this clinker is considered a semi-product. What do I mean a semi-product is that this clinker can be sold to other grinding stations whereby they don't have the quarry, they don't have the kilns, they only have the final grinding station. They can buy the clinker from other country or from other location, and they blend the clinker together with limestones and gypsum to form the final product, which we call the cement. Okay. And in this process, there is a lot of equipment that are involved in the cement industry. So in the first process, we'll be talking about the crusher. In the quarry, we have a different type of crusher. We have a hammer crusher, we have an impact crusher, we have a double roller crusher, and we also have a gyratory crusher or different type of crusher. These crusher are normally very gigantic size, and these crusher are producing with the capacity about in the range between 500 tons per hour, and some, the bigger crusher can go up to 1,500 to 2,000 tons per hour. So this is the crusher. So after the crusher, at the same time, the raw material, you need to stack the crusher in the stacking belt. You have a reclaimer with all the transport system for the better correct blending, stacking of the material. Later, you need to have a good reclaiming to have a consistent quality after have a stacking of the raw material. And this material are transported in the following grinding process. In this grinding process, we normally use a mill called vertical roller mill. This vertical roller mill is a process whereby we use the temperature from the kilns to dry up the material from a moisture of 10% of moisture up to below 1% of moisture. At the same time, producing the powder size from 30 to 40 limestone size down to 90 micron of the raw meal, and further burning in the process. And the rest in the cement grinding, we have the roller press, we have the ball mill and the separator. And this product is later stored in the silo. And you can use it for the pelletizer when you produce a bag cement, or in certain case when you need to ship overseas, you have the jetty whereby you are loading your cement directly to the vessel, and in land you can load this directly to the truck for the local dispatch to the local patching plant. And throughout the process, you have a different raw material and consumable materials. So the raw material I will explain before, and beside this raw material, you have a things called alternative raw material. So what is alternative raw material? It's a substitute material to the conventional raw material we have. We use certain kind of sludge that contains a high amount of alumina. Sometimes we use some crushed glasses, which contain high amount of silica, and you can use a different type of raw material that have contained some amount of alumina, some amount of iron or silica, where you can reduce the traditional or conventional raw material. And in the process of burning, we use a lot of coal or petcoke. This coal and petcoke is the traditional fuel we are using to burn, to produce the heat for the burning process. And nowadays, besides we have this traditional fuel, petcoke and coal, we also use a lot of alternative fuel. So what is meant by alternative fuel? It means that instead of using a coal or petcoke, a cement plant, we also use tire chip, we use a rice husk, we use a wood chip, or we use the RDF, which is something like a rubbish, to burn in the cement plants. So this burning process, we can reduce the amount of coal required to produce the heat. At the same time, we can use the cement plant as an incinerator to reduce the waste of those rubbish. You can, instead of throw the tire chip to burn bury out, you burn the cement tire chip so that you don't throw it to the environment. Instead of throw the rubbish to this incinerator plant, you use the rubbish in the cement plant to reduce the cost of the fuel. At the same time, you produce a green cement, a green environment to the social. And in this burning process, we have a lot of castable and refractory. So because in the burning process, the temperature is about 1,450 degrees, and the kilns is only a normal steel. You need a very, very good refractory to contain the heat and to avoid overburning of the equipment. So this refractory and castable is a very high consumable material in the cement process. And later on, you can see that during the cement grinding process, there's a lot of grinding aids. So grinding aids is a liquid or it's a chemical that we are introducing to the ball mill or your vertical roller mill in order to increase the strength of the cements. So in our industry, there's a lot of mineral resources students. A lot of our alumni are now working in the grinding aid industries. And in the cement process, we are also using a lot of raw material like the gypsum and hydride. This is to avoid the fast hardening or forced set of the cement in the concrete process. At the same time, we sometimes add in some fly ash or slag in order to increase the strength of the cement. And here, what is the perspective of the mineral resources student in a cement industry? Throughout the process, you can see one of our main importance is about the quarry. So we can see a lot of mineral resource students are starting their career in the cement plant as a quarry engineer. At the same time, we also have a lot of our students, besides they are going for the quarry, they are also working as an operation engineer or a process engineer. So mineral resources is not just about the quarry, but it's also about the mineral processing. So in our study, we study about comminution. So comminution is about the process of reducing the size. So grinding process is part of a comminution process. So what you are studying in the mineral resources syllabus is applicable to the cement plant process. And throughout the process, we also have a lot of some of our students or some of our colleagues, they prefer to go in a different course. So some of them, they will want to become an environment engineer or safety engineer. When they have certain experience in the cement plant, they can opt for a different routes for developments, not from a technical quarry or technical cement process, but they go for a different interest in environment or the different interest in safety. And what about in the government sectors? So when you come to quarry, you need to deal a lot with the JMG, which is the Jabatan Mineral and Galian. So our quarry engineer always work very closely with a JMG, and a lot of our alumni also coming or senior are also working in the JMG. At the same time, we also have you also have the prospect to further develop your career either in the DOE Department of Environment or the Department of Safety and Health DOSH. These are the possible career that you can develop after the cement plants. We also have a different perspective whereby some of our senior or junior are going for a service provider in the cement industry. So some cement plants, they are not having their in-house blasting service. They outsource the blasting service to the different supplier. In this prospect, in this case, there's an opportunity to produce or to provide a blasting service or a quarry service to a cement industry. And in certain case, with the experience that you are gaining from the cement plant, you can become a process consultant to provide consultancy service to a cement plants. There's also a lot of opportunity. For example, the raw material supplier. Limestone is something normally in-house, but in certain cases, there's also an outsourced limestone supply that you can become a supplier of the limestones to these cement plants. Other raw material, including the coal and also other alternative fuel suppliers. And in the bottom are some of the multinational company that you have the opportunity to explore. So here I list out the main one is regarding the refractory, the castable, and the grinding aids. These are one of the, I would say, is a major industry whereby a lot of mineral resource students have a lot of experience and exposure and potential to work as one of the main suppliers here for the cement industry. And for myself, I'm now working as an OEM supplier for the cement plants. So we're actually producing or we build the cement plants from the turnkey point of view. Besides producing the equipment, we also producing the service and giving the consultancy advice to the cement plants about what are possible to develop, what are possible to improve, and what are possible to sell the cement in the better quality. So in this case, if you are talking about the cement plant, the main OEM worldwide is a Policious, which is a decent group. We have a FLS, it's a Swedish company. We have a KHT, it's a Germany company, which are currently bought over by China. At the same time, we also have a Sinoma. This is also one of the main cement builder. And there's also a lot of single machinery. So what is single machinery? A lot of equipment that built in the cement plants are not only from one or two suppliers, but they are from different suppliers. For example, the crusher. Some crusher are produced by Hazema, by Badeshki, with different suppliers. And the grinding station is not necessarily coming from a turnkey supplier like Policious of FLS. The turnkey, the single equipment for the grinding station can be coming from a Lochelle mill of a Gabra Pfeiffer, or even from LBT. So there's a lot of opportunity in this cement industry besides just working as the cement plants. Okay. So as a general conclusion, what is about the opportunity or what is the advice for students coming from the mineral resources in the real world industry? So we always comparing regarding the real business world and the academic world. So when you come to the come to the real business world or industry world, a lot of times the technical requirement is always the last thing we need to improve. But what is most important is regarding your communication skill, your how are you dealing with the people, your soft skill. A lot of times the soft skills are more outstanding compared to the technical skill. However, the soft skill must build on the very strong foundation of the technical level. Okay, so yeah, this is my advice to all the students in the mineral resources engineering. So in the future, when you come to the business world, be more intention about what you want to get in the future. You need to set your target in the first place and to understand what is your interest. Because if you are doing something that you are not really interested of, then it will be very difficult process for you. Yeah. So that's all for my sharing. Do you have any questions?
Okay, Mr. Wang, thank you very much for the sharing session. Okay, we have lots of questions here. Okay, first question is, what do you see in the future for a cement plant in Gua Musang, Kelantan? There are lots of limestone hills up there.
This is a very good question. I don't expect this question to come. So, okay, so this Gua Musang cement plant is a long story. This story, let's say, I heard about this cement plants in the Gua Musang for the past 5 to 6 years. There's always a news that there's a new cement carriers are going to build a new cement plant in Gua Musang. But from my point of view, if I look on the current cement trend, the cement demands and the cement production in Malaysia, actually Malaysia is currently in the situation where the demands are lower compared to the production. This means we actually have a lot of we have a very low utilization of cement production in Malaysia. If there's a new cement player coming out in Malaysia, for example, if there's a new cement plant in Gua Musang, the impact is that all the cement player will need to reduce their production because of the low demand in Malaysia. Second thing is regarding the cost. When you have new players, they will be more competitive in the cement price. And this will result in all the cement plants need to fight or reduce their cement cost. And this will actually make the markets very difficult to survive for the cement players. So although there's a rumor saying that there's a cement plants coming out in Gua Musang, but I don't see in practical point of view this will be realized in the next 2 or 3 years, unless we can foresee a high demand of these new projects. For example, the high-speed rail between KL and Singapore, the East Coast Highway. Without those mega projects, the new cement plants in Malaysia doesn't seem to be the right condition from today's market point of view.
Okay. Okay, next question. People are focusing more on green cement nowadays to reduce CO2 emission. What are your comments on this green cement? What do you think is the newest technology?
Okay, actually cement is, let's say, somewhere between number 3 or number 4 highest CO2 producer worldwide after the power plant and after the steel plant. So yes, correct. And actually, every ton of cement you produce, you actually release about 800 kilogram of this CO2. So cement is actually releasing a lot of carbon to the environment. But at the same time, with the current technology, there's a lot of let's say a green initiative or green proposal how to reduce the carbon emissions or carbon footprints in the cement industry. So I can give you 4 examples. So the first solution, what are the future cement plants can do to reduce the carbon footprint? First is one of the things that are very practical and already installed worldwide is to use more alternative fuel beside the conventional fuel. For example, like I mentioned, instead of using coal and petcoke, which releasing a lot of CO2, you can switch your alternative fuel to tire chip, wood chip, RDF. All this can greatly reduce this carbon release. The second thing you can consider is to reduce the cement substitutions. So what is meant by reducing the cement substitution is that instead of using the clinker to produce the cement, you can use calcined clay. It's another type of clay that can replace the clinker in the cement productions. At the same time, you reduce the number of these carbons released because a calcined clay release less carbon dioxide compared to the cement plants. Then the fourth thing you can use is, like I mentioned, how to increase the strength of the cement by reducing the clinker. And the last one is the things that I would say is the technology of the next 10 years. This is regarding the carbon capture, utilization, and usage. So in today's technology, there's already some research and some pilot plants are doing the study. This is to capture the carbon they are released coming from the kiln process, cement process. You store the carbon dioxide, then this carbon dioxide can use as a raw material for the downstream process. So that means you capture carbon dioxide with a very high purity. This carbon dioxide can be used for the productions of green, green hydrogen, for example, or you can use the carbon dioxide to produce this carbon product in the downstream. But this need to come together with the government's initiative. Normal cement plants is very difficult to have this green initiative by themselves. Why I say so? So I'm comparing Malaysia with Korea. So in Malaysia, we don't have the ecosystem to produce alternative fuel. We don't have a sorting or recycle of the rubbish from our household. We don't separate rubbish that are for organic waste. We don't separate the rubbish that only contain the plastic, contain the steel, and contain of glasses. But compared to the country like Korea, for example, they start the household rubbish sorting from their house, and they have an ecosystem that produce the good alternative fuel to the cement plants to burn. At the same time, they get the money from the government to burn the waste. But in Malaysia, it's a different case. the cement players need to pay a very expensive amount of money to buy the alternative fuel. So in this case, it becomes not economic for them to burn the alternative fuel, and they will stick to only using the conventional fuel, which are the coal and petcoke. So the government need to be involved in this regards in order to increase the green cement production. A second example I can think is like China. So China used to be world worst environment release country. They used to count their environment by seeing how many days they can see the sun from the sky because of the environment issue back in 2000. But nowadays, the government is strictly control the environment. So once back in 2010, when the government control or limits the emissions, immediately 20 to 30% of the cement plants are closing down because they are not able to meet the emission limits set by the government. Same thing, if a Malaysia government can be more stricter about their emission limits, not just the carbon dioxide, but also the NOx limit, the SOx, nitrogen oxide limits. So if our government can set a very good limits and everyone need to be on par, then of course this will be a very good step in order to closer to a green cement production.
Okay. It's very sangat ringkas dan padat ya. Jawapan tu harap menjawab soalan audience kita. Okay, Mr. Wong, ada lagi soalan. What is challenging path in processing to produce cement?
Actually, producing a cement is a very conventional process. We have been producing the cement since decades. There's more than 100 years of history in the cement production. So it's become something that already, let's say, already something very easy to control in today's technology. But what is more difficult is to produce in the efficient way. So there's a lot of equipment they are running 24/7. A cement plant is does not like a conventional shop. You can start and stop anytime. Once you run a cement plant, you run 24/7 throughout the year. So normally for a cement plant, you only stop 30 days to 40 days in a year. The other time of the days you are running continuously non-stop. So this is one very critical point for a cement plant. For you to run efficient, you need to run the kilns without stoppage. And the most critical part to ensure the cement plant that running continuously is to ensure the reliability of the equipment and the reliability of the process and quality. So you need to have a very good management in terms of maintenance, good inspections, so that your equipment are always keep up to the let's say in the very good conditions that allow you to run the operation without stopping the operation. And for a cement plant, because we use a lot of heat, why stopping a cement plant is so serious? Because every stoppage of cement plant, you are losing few millions of dollar just for we heat the kilns to the 1400 degree. This is one of the main criteria why you must run the mill you must run the kiln continuously. So first thing is regarding the maintenance, to upkeep the equipment all the time. Try not to go for trial or go for the cheap equipment so that you don't have you don't, I will say we want to have a good sleep at night. We don't want to have a call at midnight because of the plant breakdown. The second thing is to ensure the quality control. Cement is controlled within a very precise quality. So the quality control is a key indication here. You need to have the right recipe all the time. At the same time, you cannot produce the cement that are offset from the requirement quality. So in general, maintenance efforts and the quality control.
Okay. The next question. How does the company do the dust control during cement production?
Dust control is normally there's two main equipment they are used to capture the dust. First is a dust collector, or they call it the bag filters. So this bag filter normally can reduce 99% of the dust. And second thing is when you come for the kilns that are high release with this stack. So in the stack, you will normally have release the gas with the temperature about 200 to 300 degrees, for example. So you need a normal bag filter is unable to take the high temperature because the filter bag will get burnt with the high temperature. In this case, you can use either there's a technology we call it the electrostatic precipitator. So this EP is able to, let's say, capture all the dust before releasing to the environment. The second thing is that it's possible to reduce the gas temperature before the bag filters, but of course you need to have a very high quality of bag filters that can withstand the temperature up to around 200 degrees. So you need to reduce the temperature first before going to bag filters. Then you can release the clean air to the environment. So these are some of the technology that are available in most of the cement plant now.
Okay, next question. Any R&D is on new cement production since production of cement produce a large greenhouse effect?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Okay, any R&D is on new cement production since production of cement produce a large greenhouse effect?
Yes, so as I explained just now, the main technology that we are doing the R&D at the moment, and it's the technology of the next 5 to 10 years to be commercialized, is regarding the carbon capture, storage, and usage. So at the moment, there's some few pilot plants that are planned in Germany in the next 2 or 3 years. So this is coming under the initiative from the government to promote the green cement store because of the green house effects. So this is to capture all the carbon dioxide that you are releasing to the environment. You use the carbon dioxide as a raw material for the other industry. Like I mentioned, one of the things are green hydrogen. You will need you can use instead of releasing the carbon dioxide to the environment, you use the carbon dioxide as a raw material for the green hydrogen production.
Okay. Okay, the last question, I think. Okay, why cement transport truck having big rotatory keep rotation when transporting?
Okay,
Ah,
so maybe there's a very wrong perceptions. The one you see the rotating is not a cement truck; it's a concrete truck. So
okay.
what is the difference between the cement and concrete? The cement is only the powder, dry powder. So you don't see any rotating part. So from a cement plant to the patching plant, so it's only the dry powder to the patching plants. Then in the patching plants, you will mix the cements with some sands, with some stones, with some water to produce a concrete. Then in the constructions, they will order this concrete truck from the patching plant. So when the patching plant, they are pre-mixed in the patching plant, they load this into this concrete truck. Because this truck is already pre-blend with the cements, with the sand, with the concrete, with the pedals, then with water. It need to continue rotate to avoid the cement from setting or become hardened. At the same time, we also calculate the durations from the patching plant to the unloading site. So because when you want to have a very long journey, you need a higher chemical to prevent the concrete from harden. If not, once you reach the customer site, the truck is already become a hardened concrete. You cannot dispatch the material out from the truck. This will be the nightmare that you don't want to have.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think, sorry, Mr. Wan, there's another question. What is the function of a grinding aid in mining, and how to determine the effectiveness of grinding aid?
There's two main purpose of the grinding aids. So one, the first purpose of the grinding aids is of course to support or to ease the process of grinding. So for a ball mill or during the grinding process, those balls that inside the mill will have some electricity. So this will cause the powder to stick on the ball or on the wall to avoid the sticking of this grinding material, raw material on this grinding media. The grinding aid is to uh, avoid the material from sticking together. So the first thing to see whether a grinding aid is good or not is that once you use a grinding aid, you can increase your capacity of your production. So if you without, for example, grinding process without using a grinding is only running at 100 ton per hour. So once you use a grinding aid, you can increase your capacity by 10 or 20%. So this is an efficient grinding aids. The second thing is some of the grinding aids come with additional function. For example, in cement plants, some of the grinding aids is to increase your cement strength. So you can use instead of using more clinker, you use a grinding aid to increase the cement strength. So this is the second function of the grinding aid in the cement plant.
Okay. Okay, I think that's the last question. Mr. Wong, thank you very much for your sharing for today. Okay, it's very, sangat, I just know new thing. I pun, sebelum ni, before this, I never know that I boleh involve dalam cement industry juga.
Maybe it's for my how I maybe it's good to let you know since still have some time how I joined the cement industry. So I'm actually I would say I'm an island native. I grew up in Langkawi, studied in Langkawi before I joined USN. So when during the intern on the third year, I actually have my intern in one of the cement plant in Langkawi. So this is my first exposure to the cement industry. And up to my surprise, actually nowadays, if you go to any cement plants in Malaysia, you will see some of our senior and juniors in the cement plant. So they are not just in the quarry, they are in the operation, they are in the production, they are in the process. So even YPL, one of their senior general manager, is also our, let's say my 10 or 15 years senior. Yeah. So yeah. So cement industry for mineral resources student is an open door, and we like to have a mirror student in the cement industry. Yeah. And I
Oh
think for
my,
my batch, we have maybe 4 or 5 of my batch are joining the cement plants. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, Mr. Wang, thank you very much. Okay, for today.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay. And now kita akan beralih kepada speaker yang kedua kita, iaitu Encik Luqman Hakim bin Mohari. Sebelum itu saya perkenalkan dahulu latar belakang speaker kedua kita. Beliau merupakan alumni Mineral Resources Engineering pada tahun 2004 hingga 2008. Kini beliau bekerja di Elbort Resources Sdn Bhd sebagai Senior Quarry Engineer. Okay, kita tak nak melengahkan masa. Let me welcome the second speaker of this talk session to present his topic, which is about life as a quarry engineer. Okay, seperti biasa, sesi soal jawab akan dilakukan pada akhir sesi perkongsian speaker. Okay, Encik Luqman, persilakan.
Okay, terima kasih kepada student-student MIRES yang sudi menjemput saya hari ini sebagai speaker. Saya mungkin saya punya presentation mungkin lebih santai lah sebab masa yang tak mencukupi.
Boleh,
Dan
boleh.
saya akan bercakap dalam bahasa campuran lah. So ada certain terms yang mungkin tidak ada dalam, susah nak cari perkataan dalam bahasa Melayu, saya akan cakap bahasa Inggeris. Dan saya ajukanlah soalan-soalan yang berkaitan dengan prospek career sebagai seorang quarry engineer lah. Sebab and saya harap perkongsian saya ni dapat membantu pelajar ataupun bakal graduate dari school mineral resources untuk bekerja dalam industri lah.
InsyaAllah.
So saya tanpa melengahkan masa, saya akan memulakan lah saya punya presentation sekejap ya. Nampak ya?
Boleh.
Okey, sebelum tu saya perkenalkan diri saya dulu. Saya Luqman Hakim bin Mohari. Saya mula belajar di USM dalam bidang sumber mineral pada tahun 2004 dan graduate alhamdulillah lah tak extend 2008. Sebab ada juga kawan-kawan kita yang extend kan, menunjukkan yang course ni pun bukan mudah sebenarnya untuk habis lah. So alhamdulillah saya graduate with honours in 2008. Dan saya nak menceritakan lah sedikit sebanyak saya punya pengalaman dalam industri quarry. So untuk pelajar-pelajar ataupun student yang wonder lah, sebenarnya quarry ni dia punya industri di Malaysia tidak besar. Bukanlah industri yang besar, tetapi produk yang dikeluarkan oleh quarry kebanyakannya dipakai lah. Maknanya dia punya demand tu sentiasa ada. Sebagai contoh macam apa yang Mr. Wong, speaker kita sebelum ni terangkan, yang simen sendiri merupakan komponen yang paling utama lah untuk pembangunan. Terutama negara kita seperti Malaysia, which is a developing country. Kita still lagi develop kita punya facility. Contohnya dalam masa sekarang ni kita ada projek-projek mega lah seperti MRT 2, MRT 3 yang akan datang. Lepas tu kita ada projek ECRL, high speed rail. Kesemuanya menggunakan mineral. Means batuan yang aggregate daripada granite, dari kuari-kuari granite. Simen yang menggunakan kebanyakannya batu kapur, juga kaolin, clay. So banyak function mineral ni dalam pembangunan negara. Dan satu lagi yang seperti mungkin tak diterangkan sangat ialah penggunaan mineral industri ataupun kehadiran mineral ni sebagai filler material dalam barang-barang yang digunakan seharian. Sebagai contoh kertas dan lain-lain lah, terutama PVC, plastik dan banyak lagi barang-barang consumer product yang menggunakan mineral. So kepentingan mineral tu sendiri adalah amat tinggi lah dalam kita punya kehidupan moden ni. So saya nak terangkan sikit pengalaman saya lah. Saya graduate dari USM pada tahun 2008 dan saya diterima bekerja sebagai entry level lah ataupun junior mining engineer pada 2008 untuk Emiris Minerals Sdn Bhd yang terletak di Simpang Pulai. Kemudian saya promoted to technical support engineer untuk menjadi technical lead dalam projek Core Road yang duration dia lebih kurang dalam 3 tahun lah. So dalam role ni saya lebih kurang pada operation, lebih kepada technical support untuk team development. Dan saya akan terangkan sebentar lagi apa kerja-kerja saya kan. Kemudian saya pula dipromote kepada HOD lah, head of department untuk crushing department. So crushing department ni basically untuk plant crusher. Di Emiris dulu kita ada satu plant primary dan satu plant secondary, jaw crusher dan juga cone crusher. So saya jadi head of department untuk crushing and screening lah. Kemudian saya berpindah ke local contractor, quarry contractor, yang dikontak as quarry manager lah untuk LCLY Quarry Works selama 2 tahun lah, 2 tahun lebih, 2016 hingga 2018. Kemudian saya diterima masuk sebagai senior quarry engineer di Albok Resources Sdn Bhd. Okey, Albok Resources ni merupakan anak syarikat kepada Arbok Portland Malaysia Sdn Bhd, sebuah syarikat kepunyaan Itali lah, MNC, dan kami syarikat yang supply kalsium karbonat ataupun batu kapur kepada kilang simen. So in total saya ada experience selama 13 tahun dalam industri. So pada hari ini saya harap saya dapat berkongsi sedikit sebanyak saya punya pengalaman dan saya alu-alukan lah soalan daripada pelajar-pelajar untuk saya jawab lah. Yang mana saya mampu jawab, saya jawab lah mengikut pengalaman saya. Okey, untuk seterusnya, apakah itu quarry engineer? Okay. Kalau kata saya sendiri lepas saya graduate dan saya bekerja, bila balik kampung, kebanyakannya orang katanya kerja apa? So kita cakap kerja engineer. So bila kita engineer apa ya? Dan kebanyakannya yang terlintas dalam kepala diorang lah mechanical, electrical dan engineer-engineer lain yang lebih famous lah ataupun lebih mainstream. Bila saya cakap saya ini quarry engineer, kebanyakannya diorang tak tahu apa tu quarry engineer lah. And then macam biasalah bila kita cakap kita belajar mineral resource engineering, yang first kali keluar adalah air mineral ke. So itulah problem dia dekat situ. Problem dia, industri kita bukanlah industri yang glamour, bukanlah industri yang mainstream. So explanation tu perlu lebih lah kepada diorang. Tapi saya sebagai orang yang bekerja dalam industri, saya boleh explain lah apa itu sebenarnya function dia sebagai seorang quarry engineer. So kalau ikutkan definition dia lebih kurang macam ni lah. So this is what you have to expect. Kalau kata you diterima sebagai quarry engineer, inilah lebih kurang dia punya kerja dalam dalam sesuatu quarry lah. So basically quarry engineers plan, oversee and coordinate quarry operation. Maksudnya dia merancang, dia memantau dan dia coordinate apa-apa quarry operation. Quarry operation ni sebenarnya simple. Dia punya process flow tak complicated lah. It's not rocket science, it's very simple. So you pun boleh dalam satu kertas dan 15 minit you boleh explain lah basically quarry punya layout. Tapi dalam tu pula dia ada lagi komponen-komponen kecil yang you perlu manage lah. Dan untuk tu kita kena coordinate macam ni, coordinate extraction, processing. Maknanya daripada blasting, lepas blasting mungkin ada secondary blasting ataupun ada breaking, load and haul, pergi ke processing plant. Selalunya kita akan deal di quarry, kita akan deal dengan primary crusher lah. Maknanya yang untuk reducekan batu certain size, big size to smaller size lah. Kita ada screening, crushing, jaw crusher, screen, dan memastikan semuanya berjalan lancar mengikut health and safety standard. So quarry engineers ensure the successful running of the quarry and implement company strategies and guidelines. So kita punya tanggungjawab sebagai quarry engineer untuk memastikan perjalanan proses quarry itu berjalan lancar. Sebab quarry ni, macam saya cakap tadi, quarry ni adalah industri yang paling senang lah orang blame. Maknanya dia ada nama buruk lah dalam masyarakat Malaysia lah. So kalau kata bila kita kerja quarry, dia associate kita dengan habuk, dengan lori, dengan bunyi bising, dengan jalan rosak. So kalau kata you as a quarry engineer, sedikit sebanyak you akan deal dengan problem ni. Dan you akan juga deal dengan orang government yang mendapat komplain daripada masyarakat, dan you kena mengeluarkan strategi ataupun suggest kepada management how to control this lah, terutamanya habuk, dust control, bunyi bising dan lain-lain lah, terutama yang melibatkan blasting. Sebab kalau even di Ipoh sendiri, di quarry saya, komplain yang kita dapat memang banyak lah, tapi bukan official komplain. Dia just cakap macam contoh blasting, meretakkan rumah dia. So this is some of the challenges you have to face lah. Sebab reputasi industri tu sendirilah. So dalam Malaysia ni bukanlah semua quarry, bukanlah majoritinya quarry adalah locally operated. So diorang perform at a certain standard lah. Dia tak mengikut standard yang macam MNC adopt. So kalau MNC, multinational company ni, dia ada approach yang lebih systematic lah untuk run a quarry. Maknanya dia orang control dari segi habuk, dia orang ada duit Diorang ada ni. Kebanyakan quarry yang lain, especially locally operated ataupun local operator, diorang tidak ada standard yang sama lah dengan MNC. So untuk key kompetensi, apa yang you perlu ada as a quarry engineer? First kali you kena ada apa? Kena ada knowledge, basic knowledge. Basically benda ni semua you belajar masa di universiti lah. First, mining and quarrying processes, which is simple. Tak ada masalah you untuk tahu. Depend on the quarry as well lah. Apa yang you mine, apa yang you quarry, batu, kapur ke, granite, kaolin atau clay. Mostly sama je proses dia, melainkan ada 1-2 proses hiliran ataupun ni contoh macam clay dia tak perlukan blasting. Mungkin kurang menggunakan blasting. And then dia pula lebih kepada menggunakan cyclone daripada screen contohnya lah. So kita pula ada crushing, screening proses atau ada proses yang digunakan untuk pengasingan saiz lah. Mine safety and health ni pun penting sebabkan environment quarry dan lombong ni adalah bahaya. Bahaya ada di mana-mana. So walaupun kita ada safety officer ataupun safety executive dalam quarry, kebanyakannya biasanya diorang tak deal dengan quarry punya hazard. Quarry punya hazard atau mine punya hazard ni very specific expertise dia lebih kepada mining engineer atau quarry engineer sebab dia deal dengan geologi, dengan macam-macam lagi lah yang biasanya tak ada dalam kilang ataupun industri lain. Kemudian geologi. Geologi ni pun penting, hanya pengetahuan geologi. Terutama untuk berkaitan dengan batuan ataupun bahan yang you quarry. Kemudian computer dan IT literacy. This one is a given lah. Sebab dalam dunia sekarang ni everything is computerized. System, planning, you kena buat presentation at least. Macam ni presentation, ni simple lah sebab saya tengok even student yang arrange untuk untuk talk ni pun dia punya IT literacy dia agak tinggi lah sebab dia orang boleh buat benda-benda macam ni kan. Kemudian last sekali ialah mine and quarry legislative, maknanya undang-undang quarry. Seperti yang saya terangkan sebentar tadi, disebabkan quarry ni industri yang banyak menerima komplain kan. You kena tahu parameter-parameter yang sepatutnya you operate. Dari segi habuk, bunyi bising, gegaran. So you kena ada knowledge pasal undang-undang quarry lah, macam Perak. Dia ada Perak Quarry Rules, dia ada Mineral Animal Act. So you kena tahulah. Tak detail pun tak apa, tapi you tahu apakah parameter yang sepatutnya you abide to. Maknanya kita tak boleh exceed certain parameter supaya kita punya quarry boleh beroperasi tanpa ada masalah lah. Maknanya tak kena stop, tak kena apa. So itu salah satu key kompetensi yang perlu ada pada seorang mining engineer ataupun quarry engineer. Dan banyak lagi sebenarnya dia punya kompetensi-kompetensi yang perlu ada, tapi this is basically the general overview of what quarry engineers is required to be competent at. So bila you masuk kerja nanti you akan tahulah macam-macam kerja lagi yang macam-macam kompetensi ataupun skill yang you perlu ada untuk jadi seorang quarry engineer. Okay, ketiga saya nak share sebagai prospect as a quarry engineer. Tadi Mr. Wong pun ada terangkan. Saya rasa dia punya detail lagi lah, tapi saya just nak ulang lah. Okay, contoh macam dalam generic quarry setting dalam industri, di manakah tempat yang diperlukan quarry engineer. First, yang paling obvious adalah operations lah, operasi quarry. Maknanya quarry dalam Malaysia ni saya rasa ada mungkin beribu lah. Ini bukan semua yang memerlukan quarry engineer, terutama yang kecil-kecil dia orang tak mampu untuk hire quarry engineer, tapi quarry yang besar-besar ataupun yang perlukan long term planning, dia akan memerlukan seorang quarry engineer lah. So ini pula terbagi pada dua lah. Kalau kata dalam operasi ni, biasanya macam saya kerja dengan satu parent company yang own ataupun yang memiliki quarry. You juga boleh jadi quarry engineer untuk seorang operator ataupun kita panggil kontraktor quarry lah. Macam di site saya sendiri, student mineral resources ada, termasuk saya ada 3 orang. Saya tak salah, 3 orang yang bekerja dalam satu site. Satu sebagai operation, saya sebagai operation untuk parent company. Seorang lagi junior saya yang bekerja sebagai quarry engineer untuk kontraktor, dan seorang lagi bekerja sebagai chauffeur lah. Keduanya you boleh join technical lah. Ataupun prospeknya sebagai quarry engineer dalam technical field. Okay, apakah itu technical field Macam saya sendiri, dalam ikut pengalaman saya pernah bekerja dalam bidang teknikal lah. Kalau dalam teknikal ni biasa kita akan memberikan hikmat nasihat dan hikmat teknikal kepada operasi untuk bagaimana untuk plan quarry. Ataupun kalau kita ada certain project yang kita perlu laksanakan, kita lah yang akan menjadi basically internal consultant ataupun external consultant untuk operasi bagi menjayakan projek tu lah. Okay, sebagai contoh saya tunjuklah satu slide lagi. Okey, boleh dengar
Boleh.
Okey, kat sini saya tunjukkan, okey, contoh dalam tadi saya terangkan technical punya function dalam quarry. Biasanya quarry, ini bukan quarry biasa lah. Biasa quarry dia tak ada planning sampai ke tahap ni lah. Macam ni bila saya bekerja dengan Emeris, okey, quarry sebagai technical support engineer ataupun technical engineer dalam bidang mine development, kita akan deal dengan spec lah. Macam ni kalau kita tengok dari sini, okey, dia punya plan. Tugas saya sebagai seorang quarry engineer adalah untuk satu design and then dapatkan approval daripada management, and then kita buat kita panggil mine planning ataupun projection lah untuk projek tersebut. So daripada sini kita boleh tengok macam mana kita model itu quarry dalam spec dan tunjukkan berapa banyak volume in term of quality lah. Macam ni kita tengok dalam kotak yang dekat atas tu, dia tunjukkan volume bersama dengan quality marble yang kita akan extract. So dalam ni kita ini salah satu kerja seorang quarry engineer yang bekerja dalam bidang teknikal. So technical ni dia akan advise operation on how to proceed, how to mine your quarry sustainably. Macam dalam ni dia projek khas, maknanya kita nak connect satu jalan daripada certain level to certain level untuk buat jalan yang selamat bagi lori naik lah. Ini untuk facilitate ataupun untuk mempercepatkan proses extraction lah. Kita nak increase kita punya production projek pada masa ni. This one saya terlibat secara langsung dari segi design, dengan planning dan juga monitoring lah. So saya deal dengan surveying. Saya terpaksa belajar menggunakan alat survey lah untuk buat monitoring, progress monitoring of this project. Saya balik kepada kita sambung balik. So macam tadi saya terangkan apakah role saya sebagai technical lah. So untuk prospek ataupun ataupun bakal-bakal quarry engineer, you boleh masuk juga ke dalam bidang ni, bidang teknikal. Ketiga adalah consultancy ataupun government agency lah. Consultancy ni dia deal lebih dengan legislation. Dia akan membantu quarry untuk mendapatkan permit-permit yang berkaitan lah. Macam quarry dia ada SK, surat kebenaran skim quarry, namanya quarry scheme yang diperlukan untuk bagi semua quarry yang ingin operate lah. Dan government agency adalah basically JMG, Jabatan Mineral and Geoscience, ataupun department-department lain lah. Tapi kalau you tengok dalam JMG sendiri, Jabatan Mineral and Geoscience, kebanyakannya adalah terutama yang baru-baru ni, kebanyakannya adalah graduan dari mineral resource. Itu pun satu cabang lagi yang you boleh pergi as a quarry engineer. Dan keempat, inilah mineral processing. Ni mungkin you akan terlibat lebih dalam processing mineral, sebagai contoh crushing and screening, milling, everything lah, everything in between. Ini dalam bidang mineral processing. So dalam quarry biasanya dia akan ada dua je lah, crushing dan screening saja. Dan untuk macam clay mungkin dia akan ada proses lain. Tapi itu adalah basically luar pada extraction, lebih pada hiliran, maknanya untuk proses raw material menjadi concentrated mineral lah. Dan akhir sekali yang saya punya ni mungkin boleh jadi blaster atau shock fire. Dan untuk makluman lah, saudara-saudari sekalian, dekat site saya tu dia punya shock fire adalah bekas graduan USM juga, mineral resource, dan seorang wanita lah. So pada saya tu just bagi semangat pada golongan-golongan wanita yang ingin menceburkan diri dalam bidang quarry ataupun macam dia jadi shock fire kan. Itu boleh, memang boleh sangat. Cuma tak nak saja. So ni sedikit sebanyak tentang prospek seorang quarry engineer dalam industri. So pada saya jangan risau pasal kerja. Cuma dia punya kalau kata you ada kehendak lah, means you akan dapat insyaAllah. Jangan risaulah. Macam ni saya just nak tunjuk peranan saya dalam projek lah. Okay, satu projek besar yang saya jadi lead technical engineer ialah dalam projek yang saya tunjuk tadi ialah projek Zenleo Hall for project lah. Ini kita basically projek yang dibuat untuk membina satu jalan haulage dari level ni, dari satu level ke level top level ke atas ni. Ni untuk facilitate ataupun untuk improve kita punya production lah. Dengan adanya jalan ni kita increase almost 100% of our quarry output. So ini one of the big project that I was involved in. So you can see from the planning phase dalam spec, dan kita tengok keadaan sebelum projek itu berjalan dan hingga ke dalam gambar ketiga ni dia punya finish projek lah. So you can see lebih kurang sama lah. Sebab kalau kita nak dapat sama dengan spec tu almost impossible lah, sebab spec is very dia modeling kan. Ni tapi kita dapat gradient, dapat width, dapat complete dia punya specification dalam masa yang ditetapkan lah. Selalunya kita dalam projek ni kadang-kadang lambat, jarang lah yang dapat cepat habis. Tapi dalam projek ni yang saya bangga tu sebab kita betul-betul habis on time, on the dot, means dalam masa deadline yang ditetapkan lah. So ini salah satu tugas seorang quarry engineer dalam mine development ataupun quarry development. Okay lah, ni saya rasa lebih kepada tajuk kita pada hari ni lah. Macam mana life sebagai seorang quarry engineer ni. Ini saya bercakap melalui pengalaman lah, bukan statistik atau apa, just pengalaman saya lah. Dia ada pro and con je lah, pro atau challenges. Pro dia, starting salary tu agak kompetitif kalau kita compare dengan cabang-cabang engineering lain sebenarnya. saya rasa agak kompetitif lah. Bukanlah kata mahal, tapi okay untuk you as a starting engineer. And almost every quarry yang saya kerja, dia punya working hours also flexible. You tak ada berapa, dia tidak berapa menekankan ni lah. Maknanya you boleh datang awal, tapi janganlah datang lambat. So you boleh arrange you punya masa lah. Flexible lah working hours you. You tak ada very strain. Time constraint tu tak banyak lah. Ketiganya relatively dia non-formal work setting lah. Kalau macam you tengok saya boleh bela rambut panjang kan. So dia tak ada berapa, sebab most of the time you will spend your time on site. So tak ada, you basically not confined to an office. And then good career progression. Maknanya macam saya tengok saya tadi, kalau kata you prove yourself that you as a competent engineer, tak ada masalah you untuk progress dalam career. And then you boleh pilih mana you nak pergi. Macam saya cakap tadi, kalau you dah ada experience, you boleh pergi ke tempat lain. You boleh masuk consultant kalau kata even you nak pursue IR kan, professional engineer pun boleh. And then last kali, excellent opportunity to learn and get the experience dalam quarry ni. Kebanyakannya quarry ni orang lama banyak bekerja dalam quarry. Banyak orang yang dah bekerja dalam quarry dalam 20-30 tahun. Dan diorang ni kebanyakannya tak kedekut lah untuk share ilmu. So basically kalau you kerja as quarry, you spend masa dekat site, banyak ilmu yang dapat, yang mungkin you tak dapat dalam office ataupun dalam lecture hall lah. So you akan dapat opportunity untuk belajar dengan orang-orang lama lah dalam industri, sebab dia very tight knit group. Quarry ni tak besar, orang dia tak ramai. Dalam industri quarry tak besar, orang tak ramai. So basically you know everybody lah. Kalau kata you kenal seorang, you kenal semua orang. Kalau kata you problematic, orang lain, you ada bad reputation, orang tahu. So for you to maintain your good reputation lah, sebab industri quarry ni tak besar. Basically everybody knows everybody. And then kebanyakannya you punya junior ataupun you punya senior, memang pusing-pusing mana pun, terutama macam dekat Ipoh ni, memang pusing-pusing mana tu pun, either dia senior you ataupun dia junior you. So kalau you jenis belagak ke, jenis sombong sikit, orang akan tahulah. So elakkan daripada segi dapatkan bad reputation tu. So dia ada peluang yang cerah untuk kita student ataupun engineer untuk belajar. Tu salah satu challenger je. Kebanyakan quarry ni dia punya setting dia ataupun site dia bukanlah dekat dalam bandar. Kebanyakannya dalam kawasan more to rural area. So you better prepare to relocate atau move. Kalau macam saya sendiri orang Kuala Lumpur. Saya ambil decision untuk move. Tapi saya move pun ke Simpang Pulai atau Ipoh ni tak berapa kampung sangat lah. Ada bandarnya, tak ada masalah. So you ada live lah, ada wayang, ada semua. Tapi ada certain orang akan terpaksa relocate to a more rural or remote area. So dekat area yang remote lah, jauh sikit daripada penempatan ataupun jauh sikit daripada bandar. So itu salah satu challenge lah. Pada saya tak ada masalah pun kalau you bujang ataupun you tak ada keluarga lagi. It's a good time for you to move and experience tempat lain lah. Tapi saya tak berbual dalam pro, saya berbual dalam challenges. Dia bukan pada saya dia bukan cons, tapi dia challenge yang you have to overcome. And then bila you dah relocate, tak banyak lah extra curricular activities yang you boleh buat. So you kena cari lah activity. So life balance tu you sendiri kena ada usaha untuk cari aktiviti yang buat untuk luar daripada kerja lah. Dan rutin kerja tu kadang-kadang boleh jadi tedious lah. Maknanya dia berulang-ulang. Kadang-kadang you pun boring. Tapi bila ada problem lah, you barulah masa tu you tak boring. Tapi kadang-kadang kerja rutin tu akan jadi boring lah. Sebab side dia macam tu je. Once you dah dapat grasp dia punya rutin, kadang-kadang dia akan jadi boring lah. Tapi you kena cari benda lain lah untuk improve proses, untuk buat benda-benda lain, untuk improve banyak benda. Tapi itu challenges. Kalau kata you duduk saja dan tak challenge yourself untuk buat benda lain, dia akan jadi boring. Itu challenges je lah. Just untuk terangkan lah. Keempatnya dangerous. Kebanyakan site quarry ni lah, terutama quarry-quarry lokal lah, sangat berbahaya. Kalau kata you orang dengar cerita-cerita ataupun baca-baca berita yang batu runtuh, batu jatuh, landslide, mudslide yang mati. Kebanyakannya kalau yang kena jatuh tu dia punya chances untuk dia survive memang rendah lah. Kebanyakannya akan mati lah. So itu challenge yang you have to overcome lah. You kena ada foresight dalam quarry tu, macam mana nak improve you punya safety quarry. Dan memang saya tak nak sugarcoat lah benda ni. You kerja dalam industri quarry, industri mining memang dangerous, berbahaya. So itu dia punya challenges you have to overcome. Dan kebanyakan quarry macam nombor 5 cakap, you are expected to learn fast on the job. Maknanya you tak ada masa untuk relax, tak ada masa untuk ni. You masuk, kebanyakan dia akan expect, sebab dia kata you masuk dengan title engineer, you graduate. So you masuk quarry, dia tak ada, kebanyakan quarry lah yang especially yang locally operated, dia tak ada SOP ataupun dia tak ada prosedur ataupun dia tak ada apa-apa yang training yang dia boleh bagi untuk you. So you masuk, memang you kena dia expect you to swim lah. Kalau dia dah tolak you dalam kolam, dia expect you untuk berenang. So ini you kena expect. Jangan, tapi dia challenges lah, you have to overcome that. Dia tak kebanyakan, kalau macam saya ada opportunity untuk kerja dengan MNC. MNC different. Dia orang ada program, dia orang ada training program, dia orang ada SOP, dia orang ada prosedur yang you boleh follow. And then dia punya learning curve tu panjang sikit lah. Dia tak perlulah you terus masuk and then banyakkannya, tapi saya kalau untuk quarry lain, macam quarry kecil atau local quarry yang you dapat masuk, kebanyakannya tak ada formal punya training. Dia tak ada formal punya training. So you are expected to learn from pekerja yang experience dalam quarry tu. So itu pun challenge yang salah satu challenge yang saya rasa mungkin agak sukar untuk ni lah, tapi untuk you overcome atau untuk you belajar, you kena hadapilah segala cabaran yang akan datang. Okay lah, sebab saya pun ni kan tak berapa panjang sangat saya punya ni. So saya rasa setakat tu lah saya boleh share. Kita boleh proceed untuk Q&A session lah .
Okey, Encik Luqman. Okay, terima kasih atas perkongsian yang sangat knowledgeful lah orang panggil. Sebab macam ni sebelum ni ada sesi tau. Dia perempuan dalam bidang quarry ni ada seorang IR sekejap daripada IR Aizam tadi, beliau mengatakan bahawa perempuan dalam bidang quarry ni macam kurang. Adakah perempuan macam ni? Perempuan macam diperlukan lah, sebab ya macam kita tahu kan consequences dalam ni kan dangerous betul kan?
Dia memang kurang lah. Kalau kata macam saya cakap tadi kan, kalau kata saya bekerja dalam bidang quarry ni dah 13 tahun, jarang saya jumpa wanita lah dalam saya punya bekerja, kecuali satu lah yang Shahirah saya sekarang, Zulkarnain. Dia best. Dia pun speaker juga. Dia yang speaker dalam session juga, saya tak tahulah dia sesi berapa. Dia sekarang kerja dengan saya. Dia wanita, tak ada masalah lah. Cuma saya rasa sebabkan quarry setting tu agak kurang atraktif lah kepada wanita. Sebab dia memang bukan kalau kata kerja quarry ni memang busuk lah. You pakai makeup memang cair lah kata. Memang tak melekat lah kat muka. Muka berminyak. Memang, tapi itu nature dia lah. Nature dia, you kerja dekat tengah panas. You kerja di tempat yang berabuk. So mungkin dia punya setting tu dia tak berapa atraktif untuk wanita. Mungkin dia memilih cabang lain lah. Tapi wanita dia juga dalam konsultan, pada saya ramai. Consultancy kan. Yang kerja dalam office lah mainly. Dia banyak administration, proses dalam kilang ada banyak. Mungkin dekat quarry sendiri tak banyak. Sebabkan dia punya setting tu. Tapi ada wanita macam batch saya ada kerja dalam kilang simen. Ada kerja sebagai proses engineer. Bukan quarry engineer lah. So dia proses engineer. Ada yang macam Zulkarnain yang akan jadi speaker tu, dia Shahirah. Dia kerja Shahirah. So ada lah juga, tapi tak ramai lah. Tapi bukan kata dia orang tak nak, tapi saya faham lah dia punya keadaan site tu sendiri agak berbahaya lah untuk wanita, untuk ni lah. Tapi adalah exception to the rules lah. Macam Zulika tu salah satu lah.
Ada kuota ke? Macam ratio lelaki perempuan.
Kuota tak ada, tapi salah satu lah yang saya nak cerita lah. Ini bukanlah kata discrimination, tapi kebanyakan Quarry ni untuk kerja site lah, dia prefer lelaki. Sebab dalam Quarry ni kadang-kadang you kena panjat batu, panjat macam-macam lah, you kena masuk tempat-tempat yang berbahaya lah. So dia orang prefer somebody yang ada physical punya advantage lah. Tapi bukan bermakna wanita tak boleh masuk, tapi preference tu lebih kepada lelaki daripada wanita. Tapi macam dalam situasi sekarang pun, graduate dari USM pun saya rasa ramai yang perempuan kan. Macam batch Cik Aainaa ni berapa orang lelaki?
Yang pasti lelaki kurang lagi daripada perempuan.
Tapi sikit lah kan, memang tak ramai pun. Tapi sepanjang saya banyak yang saya dapat student untuk industrial training, saya rasa dalam 75% lah perempuan. Tapi saya terpaksa hantar ke lab lah. Dia pergi Quarry juga, tapi saya tak letak Quarry sebab saya tahu keadaan Quarry tu agak challenging untuk dia orang kan. Dia orang nak, contohlah macam nak pergi ke tandas, macam nak solat, macam nak banyak benda lah, susah lah kalau kata dia nak buat dekat Quarry. Kalau dia untuk lab atau kilang, setting dia lain, lebih mesra kepada wanita lah. Macam Quarry ni kurang. Tapi macam saya cakap tadi lah, tak bermakna lah perempuan tak boleh join Quarry, ada je, cuma tak ramai.
Okay Encik Luqman, ada soalan daripada audience kita. Okay, is it possible that quarry industry to go recycling? For example, that destroy road being processed and recycled as product.
Macam mana tu? Dia punya
maksudnya
bahan binaan yang lama di recycle balik? Tak, macam dalam isu recycling lah. Contoh macam kami, macam saya lah, saya sendiri bekerja dalam mineral industri, industrial mineral. Mineral yang digunakan sebagai filler material untuk bahan-bahan lah. Contoh macam untuk papers, untuk kertas apa semua lah. Macam kita orang memang filler material ni tak ada masalah dari segi recycling lah. Kebanyakannya dia orang recycle balik je. Macam bahan binaan ni agak saya tak boleh nak komen banyak sangat sebab saya tak kerja dalam bidang tu kan. Tapi apa yang saya faham lah, macam recyclable building material ni, kemungkinan teknologi tu belum sampai ke tahap yang benda tu cost effective untuk pengguna lah. At the end of the day kan, apa-apa je you nak buat dalam dunia ni lah, money talks lah. Macam kalau kata benda tu sendiri, even sumber mineral pun, kalau kita belajar, kalau kata sumber mineral tak ekonomik untuk mine, kita tak boleh mine. Dia akan kekal sebagai resource. Sama lah macam apa-apa proses yang orang kata recycling ataupun green initiative yang dia nak buat ni, selagi benda teknologi tu dia tak mencapai satu tahap yang di mana industri ataupun boleh buat untung, benda tu tak akan proceed. Itu je lah yang saya boleh komen lah pasal tu.
Okay, next question. Okay, ada tak dekat Quarry ada tak jadual keluar masuk lori? Kalau ada macam mana?
Keluar masuk lori kalau macam negeri Perak lah. Lori ni dia under PTG kan, kalau Pejabat Tanah dan Galian. Dia memang ada set time dia lah. Dia last cut off pukul 6. Isnin sampai Sabtu. Ahad tak ada. So semua benda tu dia dah ada syarat dia lah. Maknanya lori keluar masuk dia memang ada syarat. Saya tak pasti untuk negeri lain lah, tapi saya rasa lebih kurang sama je. Negeri Perak dia ada rules lah. Macam dalam borang G ataupun LPBN, kita punya lesen pemindahan bahan mineral. So lesen pemindahan bahan mineral ni dikeluarkan oleh Pejabat Tanah dan Galian. Dalam tu dia ada syarat. So lori bukan boleh suka-suka masuk, boleh suka-suka keluar. Macam sekarang ni dia orang dah upgrade. Macam dulu kita pakai doket tulis. Doket ni basically tiket untuk kita bagi lori yang bawa keluar mineral daripada Quarry untuk tujuan pembayaran royalty lah. Macam sekarang Perak dia dah adopt e-doket. So e-doket ni dia memang ada open time, sistem tu buka dan sistem tu tutup. So kita boleh upload data lori daripada masa tu sahaja. So dia adalah jadual dia. Public holiday tak boleh. Raya tak boleh. Raya dia ada road ban. So dia dia dalam setahun dia akan bagi jadual lah untuk operator quarry.
Okey, ada lagi soalan. Apa kriteria yang perlu ada untuk apply short fire license?
Short fire
Ha.
tak ada pun kriteria sebenarnya. Dia cukup umur lah. Dia kalau cukup umur, saya rasa 18 tahun kot. Lepas tu tak ada rekod jenayah. Dia punya, kalau nak tengok detail dia dekat apa, JMG website ada sebenarnya. Dia tak ada rekod jenayah sebab dia akan buat background check. Kalau you ada background, sebab you deal dengan bahan letupan. So kalau you ada rekod jenayah ataupun rekod-rekod yang tak baik lah kan, dia akan, polis akan buat background check lah pada prospek yang nak ambil atau calon-calon yang nak ambil short fire test ni. So dia akan check. Yang kriteria lain tu basically you kena pass dia punya ni lah. Dia punya first dia punya kursus short fire. And then dia ada examination. You pass examination tu, you proceed pada amali. You pass amali, you dapat lah short fire license. Itu je kriteria dia. Tak adalah complicated lah. Cuma dia punya proses tu lah. Proses dia mungkin makan setahun macam tu lah.
Okey, ni ada soalan ni. Soalan ni student nak sangat dengar jawapan ni. Okey, apakah standard untuk rehabilitation? Adakah mereka akan buat tempat rekreasi dan alam sekitar atau dibangun sebagai tempat moden seperti taman tema, kawasan perumahan, bandar kecil?
Okey, dalam Malaysia ni kebanyakannya ada yang you tengok dia panggil, kalau itu dia panggil tebus guna lah. Maknanya kawasan quarry yang tak, lombong yang dah tak dipakai, dia ditebus guna untuk jadi taman perumahan, taman permainan, taman tema. Contoh macam mines lah. Mines tu kan bekas lombong kan. Mines dekat Subang, dekat PJ, dekat Selangor lah. Tu bekas lombong. Banyak lagi tempat lah, tempat yang ditebus guna. Macam dekat Perak, dekat Batu Gajah tu yang sekarang ada Silver Lake, yang dia orang nak buat macam tempat shopping kan. Tempat shopping, itu pun area lombong yang telah ditebus guna. Quarry pun ada yang dah ditebus guna untuk jadikan kawasan perumahan. Macam rehabilitation, macam contoh quarry saya sendiri, kita rehab area yang ini yang diperuntukkan oleh JMG dan DOE lah. Maknanya kawasan yang tidak aktif. Maknanya kalau dalam quarry ada kawasan yang tidak aktif, maknanya you dah tak main dekat area tu, adalah menjadi kewajipan kepada operator quarry untuk rehab. Sama ada you tanam pokok ataupun you re-engineer dia punya slope, maknanya kita menjadikan kawasan tu selamat. Maknanya kita buang batu-batu gantung, kita blast untuk cantikkan slope dia lah, maknanya slope dia selamat. And then kita akan tanam pokok lah, pokok ke rumput ke apa-apa untuk kegunaan masa akan datang lah. Dia punya goal, aim dia adalah untuk kalau kita tinggal quarry tu, walaupun quarry tu tidak ditebus guna, tetapi kita tinggalkan quarry tu dalam keadaan yang selamat. Dan orang kata cantik lah, tak ada menjadi eyesore ataupun pandangan yang tak menarik lah. Kebanyakan quarry kan ada expose tanah merah, batu yang expose, so tak cantik. Dari segi estetiknya tak menarik lah. So dia punya aim, kalau kita tinggalkan area tu, kita kena rehab lah, sama ada tanam pokok ataupun buat benda-benda lain yang boleh mencantikkan kawasan dan menjadikan kawasan tu selamat. Macam saya punya quarry macam saya bekerja di Emeris, dia orang sendiri ada plan jangka panjang dan ada juga biodiversity punya study. So ada certain area yang ada spesies-spesies ke ataupun binatang-binatang yang jadikan tempat tu sebagai tempat tinggal dia, kita elakkan untuk main lah. Ataupun kita elakkan untuk main. Tapi tak semua quarry lah ada benda tu. Sebab dia punya cost untuk buat tu adalah tinggi. And then kebanyakannya dia punya enforcement untuk paksa dia orang buat rehab ni tak terlalu ketat lah. Mungkin in the future mungkin dia akan ketatkan lagi lah dia punya requirement untuk quarry sebelum dia tinggalkan kawasan tu.
Okay, soalan seterusnya. Can you explain more about MNC in management of mining?
MNC means multinational company ke?
In management,
Multinational company dalam my management. Okay. Soalan tu dia ni sikit lah. Saya nak. Okay lah, MNC MNC ni, multinational company ni, kita, pada saya lah, dari segi my management, perbezaan dia dengan local company ni agak banyak lah. Sebab kebanyakan local operator ni margin dia tak besar. So dia tak ada duit yang lebih untuk keluarkan untuk management dia, untuk manage quarry tu dengan high standard. So basically dia punya list of requirement dia very minimal untuk local quarry lah. MNC ni on the other hand, dia banyak budget. Dia boleh request budget daripada parent company untuk buat capex untuk development. Contoh macam saya cakap tadi, yang masa saya buat jalan tu. Jalan dekat Imeris Mineral, Quarry Imeris kan. Tak semua boleh buat jalan tu. Sebab cost dia tinggi dan dalam masa development tu you tak boleh, basically you punya extraction akan berkurang. Sebab blasting untuk development biasanya kecil. Dia akan buat blasting yang kecil-kecil. So each blast you dapat less stone. So diorang yang bergantung kepada extraction bulanan ni, benda tu tak atraktif untuk diorang. So kalau kata in term of quarry management pada MNC, dia akan lebih detail oriented. Dia ada planning, dia ada apa semua. So kalau kata you ada peluang untuk join MNC ni, you akan dapat pengalaman macam mana dia buat planning untuk manage quarry. Kalau kata kita panggil sustainable mining lah, maknanya you mine untuk masa yang panjang. You optimize life of mine. Maknanya jangka hayat quarry tu you akan panjangkan. So itu sebenarnya tujuan MNC ni buat. Tapi kebanyakan quarry lokal dia based on berapa banyak duit dia boleh dapat per blast. Macam kalau kata dia blast, berapa banyak aku boleh dapat. Macam kalau MNC, dia punya berapa lama aku boleh extract mineral tu. So dia punya viewpoint dia berbeza. Dua-dua sama je nak untung, tapi cara you dapat untung ataupun cara you dapat tu berbeza. So benda tu reflect balik kepada cara dia manage quarry atau mine lah. So kalau kata pada saya lah, sebab saya ada pengalaman dua-dua dengan MNC dan local, memang berbeza sangat-sangat. So kalau kata you tanya, you tak pernah kerja dengan MNC, you kerja dengan local saja, cara kerja you pun berbeza. So itu dia punya sedikit sebanyak lah kalau kata you nak tahu pasal how they approach things, how they approach benda-benda yang ni kan. Macam MNC lebih detail oriented dan banyak lagi you akan boleh belajar lah.
Okay. Ada orang tanya mengenai isu pula. Pada pandangan Tuan tentang isu-isu alam sekitar yang dibangkitkan oleh NGO tentang aktiviti pengkuarian batu kapur di Simpang Pulai.
Itu kuari saya tu. Okey lah, sebenarnya dalam apa-apa industri pun, contohlah kalau you nak buka kilang pun you kena clear tanah. You kena potong balak, you kena sama je. Cuma quarry ni dia panggil easy target lah. Sebab quarry ni very easy target. Kalau nak kalau quarry you visible dari pandangan orang ramai lah. Macam quarry yang dekat Ipoh ni, dia orang nampak daripada highway. So you hari-hari lalu you tengok. Memang you nampak. Tapi kalau kata siapa yang berjalan dekat kelas tu, lalu kalau kata daripada utara atau daripada selatan lah, you nak ke utara kan, belah kanan you akan nampak quarry, belah kiri you nampak hijau, bukit hijau. Tapi sebenarnya di sebalik bukit hijau tu pun ada quarry. So itu yang you tak nampak. So ini bukan isu dia sebenarnya isu dari segi eyesore lah ataupun pandangan mata yang tak menarik lah, itu saja. Dari segi emission pula, kita emission quarry ni tak banyak. Emission quarry ni selalunya habuk saja. And then kebanyakan habuk, terutama batu kapur, habuk dia tak hazardous untuk
kesihatan.
Tak kesihatan, dia bukan macam silikate ataupun material-material lain lah. Batu kapur ni tak harmful lah basically. And then emission dia tak setinggi macam contoh kilang simen ataupun kilang-kilang lain lah. Tapi disebabkan dia orang ni very easy target, dia nak salahkan senang. Okay. Bukan kata saya defend ni, tapi itu reality dia lah. Tapi macam apa yang dia nampak, okay habuk. Tapi habuk macam-macam habuk. Ada yang virus, ada tak ada virus kan. Itu beza lah. So dia punya, tapi dari segi orang awam ni dia complain je. Dia tak ada apa? Dia tak ada technical knowledge lah. Contoh macam yang saya cakap tadi lah, bila kita quarry blast dia ada bunyi. Boom. Okey, bila ada bunyi tu, okey dia kata, rumah saya retak. Padahal rumah dia adalah dalam 5-6 kilometer daripada quarry tu. So how come dia boleh retak? Tapi at the end of the day, kita sebagai quarry operator, kita tahu kita punya apa? Kita punya operation tu mengganggu sedikit sebanyak lah. Walaupun itu mungkin bukan punca rumah dia retak, tapi kita kena entertain lah. Tapi yang kita ada knowledge ataupun ada hindsight yang kita tahu, okay, kita blasting within the parameter yang ditetapkan oleh JMG pada pihak berkuasa, tak mungkinlah rumah dia boleh letak pasal tu. Mungkin ada isu lain. Tapi senanglah dia nak blame. Dia nak blame quarry. Macam ada satu contoh dekat Ipoh, dia blame quarry juga, tapi rumah dia sebenarnya atas tanah bekas lombor dan sinking. So itu disebabkan rumah dia retak. Tapi dia senang, dia nak sebab dia nak claim. Dia nak dibayar saya punya rumah. Itu standard lah. Tapi kalau kata ditanya ada impact, memang ada impact. Quarry impact dalam cerita memang ada. Itu tidak dinafikan lah. Cuma kita sebagai quarry engineer, macam saya cakap tadi lah, you kena operate within the given parameter. Itu parameter yang di-set oleh government untuk control untuk control environmental impact. So kita follow je lah. Tak ada masalah pada kita. Macam apa, NGO ni pun diorang mungkin tak berapa banyak knowledge pasal industri itu sendiri ataupun kegunaan bahan yang di-extract dari bukit lah, daripada gunung limestone ni. And juga diorang tak tahu impact ekonomi yang benefit dia lah, economic benefit daripada quarry. Quarry ni employ banyak orang yang lokal. Bangla pun tak banyak. Lokal memang banyak. Dan industri-industri lain yang berkait dengan quarry, contoh macam kilang yang buat powder apa semua, kebanyakannya orang lokal. So untuk local ekonomi pada saya dia ada benefit lah. Biasalah benda semua ada pro and con. So kita sebagai quarry operator, kita atau quarry engineer, kita kena satu abide by the rules lah. Keduanya untuk continuous improvement kita punya proses untuk lessen the impact to the environment. Itu je yang kita boleh buat. Kalau kata Yuna ni, kita tutup quarry lah. Itu je lah.
Betul. Okey, ada soalan daripada audiens kita. Macam mana nak handle isu orang-orang kampung yang mengganggu operasi quarry walaupun sudah fully comply all regulation? Mohon view tuan.
Okey. Kita punya concern satu je. Kalau sebagai operator quarry kan, kita punya ability to operate satu, kita punya kepatuhan kepada syarat yang telah ditetapkan oleh JMG dan badan-badan berkaitan lah. So the one that you have to please the most is badan-badan berkait lah. Maknanya kalau you follow instruction diorang, you operate within the parameters that given, you tak langgar apa-apa, you keep record yang cantik, tak ada masalah. Quarry you boleh jalan. Orang nak marah ni kita tak boleh nak cakap. Sebab kebanyakannya yang marah ni, diorang ni emosi. So bila dia emotional, dia tak berfikir secara logik. So you nak argue dengan orang yang tak logik, memang tak boleh. So generally you layan lah, okay pakcik, okay, kita dengar sebagai listener lah. Tapi kita tak boleh nak give in lah. Kata apa, tak boleh kita nak layan satu-satu komplain sebab komplain banyak. Kalau kita layan semua komplain, memang quarry tu cakap tutup lah quarry. Itu je lah. Tapi lepas tu saya cakap, yang kita sebagai operator quarry ni, kita punya permit dia dah siap list syarat yang perlu kita patuh. Kita patuh syarat tu lah. Sebab ultimately yang kita nak please ataupun kita nak puaskan hati lah government lah. State government. Sebab diorang yang kutip hasil cukai daripada quarry.
Betul.
So kita kena please dia dulu. Yang kedua, kalau kata kita dah follow dia punya syarat-syarat yang ditetapkan, pada saya tak ada masalah lah. Komplain memang akan ada. You tak boleh lari lah. Bukanlah kata-kata you tak layan, tapi approach dia, jangan marah dia, jangan marah orang kampung, jangan bergaduh bertumbuh. Keep as professional lah. Sebab komplain akan datang lah, no matter what. Macam dulu, ada kes yang lori bawa batu, kena pukul pun ada, kena kejar, keluar dari kampung. Sebab kadang-kadang orang lalu kawasan kampung, dia laju kan. So benda tu sedikit sebanyak menyumbang kepada emotional isu lah pada orang kampung. So orang kampung ni marah sangat pada industri quarry. Tapi kita improve lah. Kalau yang paling penting kita follow kita punya parameter. Jangan engkar lah atau kerajaan punya arahan tu. Itu yang paling penting lah. Komplain akan datang, itu kita tak boleh lah.
Betul. Susah sebenarnya nak convince setiap pihak nak puas hati semua orang, susah saya.
Tak boleh. Memang kalau kata
Tak
dalam
boleh.
dunia ni orang akan ada orang benci, ada orang suka. Itu standard. Lepas tu kita ada undang-undang.
Okey, ini ada soalan mengenai MNC company lagi. Why certain MNC companies tend to export the extracted raw material, example marble, from our quarry for further process outside from Malaysia? Why not we process here? Indeed, we create more jobs to Malaysia.
Okey, dia ada dia punya banyak faktor lah. Okey, contoh macam bila saya kerja dekat Imeris, batu yang dia keluarkan, dia supply untuk banyak tempat lah, Indonesia, Australia, masa tu China, Vietnam, banyaklah tempat. So banyak faktor yang mempengaruhi benda tu lah. Pertama, first sekali ialah demand lah. So demand ni kalau kata dia kadang-kadang satu negara tu dia ada kilang tapi dia tak ada raw material. Contoh, ataupun dia raw material dia tak menepati spesifikasi yang ditetapkan, yang dia nak, and then dia perlukan mineral lain untuk tambah pada mineral yang dia sedia ada lah. So dia akan beli daripada Quarry ataupun Quarry di Malaysia lah, banyak supplier dari Malaysia lah. Keduanya, kemungkinan dia langsung tak ada mineral tu. Contoh macam kilang simen dia ada mineral lain tapi dia tak ada gypsum contohnya. So macam dekat Malaysia saya tak tahulah, saya rasa tak ada gypsum. So gypsum ni dia import daripada Thailand. Contohlah, ni kita tunjuk daripada kita lah. So itulah sebenarnya kadang-kadang relationship antara demand, supply dengan demand lah. Kadang-kadang ada satu negara tu dia memang lebih ada benda tu, so dia import. Sama juga macam strategi MNC. Strategi MNC ni bila dia nak expand dia punya operation ke, contoh dia Europe, dia nak expand ke Asia contohnya lah. So dalam Asia ni contoh macam saya kilang simen. Contoh kilang simen dia kata dia ada dia nak presence dalam region tu. So dia parking dia punya kilang kat situ. Tapi kilang kat situ kemungkinan tak ada certain raw material. So dia akan cari neighboring countries. Dia akan cari contoh macam dia set. Contohlah ni contoh. Dia set kilang dekat Thailand. Tapi dekat Thailand tak ada limestone yang boleh digunakan untuk membuat simen. Dia punya specification tak cantik. Dia akan cari dekat Malaysia ataupun dia cari dekat Indonesia, mana-mana yang cost effective lah. Itu cara dia punya how dia operate their business lah. Ada satu lagi contoh macam Eropah sendiri dia dah kurang dari segi mining dan quarrying ni. Kebanyakan raw materialnya dia ambil daripada Asia. Sebab Asia ni dia punya law untuk preserving nature ni kurang sikit lah. Environmental law dia kurang sikit berbanding Europe. Macam Europe kebanyakannya ada area yang dulunya quarry tapi dia tak boleh mine lah. So dia terpaksa beli daripada luar. Macam saya pernah pergi ke Perancis, dan Belgium. Dia orang memang ada quarry pun ada tak banyak lah. Maksudnya tinggal sikit lah. Itu pun sebabkan quarry tu dah lama kan. So dia biarkan untuk buka quarry baru memang tak ada. Pada dia ada law macam carbon footprint punya law lah, EU punya standard lah. So dia terpaksa ambil daripada luar. Sebab itulah MNC dia akan buka dekat negara Asia di mana law dia agak kurang and then harga dia yang kompetitif sebabkan currency exchange kan. Jadi kita lagi murah duit kita. So bila dia export tu basically dia boleh dapat ni dengan harga yang murah. Itu antara dia punya ni lah, dia punya strategi MNC guna untuk dapatkan raw material dari negara-negara Asia termasuk Malaysia sendiri. Macam sini Singapura pun ada. Singapura pun beli daripada kita banyak granite, batu granite banyak beli dari kita juga. So itu semua disebabkan demand lah. Demand daripada macam negara Singapura sekarang dia banyak extend dia nak extend dia punya port, dia punya airport. Kebanyakannya semua guna batu granite untuk tambak. So demand tinggi, kita ekspor ke sana lah. Itu cakap duit, mana duit tu ada. Itulah dia, situlah bahan tu pergi. Bukan kata MNC je, local company pun sama juga. Keduanya saya kata soalan tadi pasal pasal apa? Pasal secondary processing. Kenapa tak buat secondary processing kat Malaysia untuk banyakkan kerja?
Yes. Untuk buka job opportunity, banyak lagi pekerjaan.
Benda pun yang sama lah. Tapi itu sebenarnya dasar lah. Kalau kata dia nak buat tu dekat Malaysia boleh je. Tapi kena ada dasar daripada kerajaan lah. Maknanya dia ban. Sebab yang benda mineral yang diekspor ni, dia walaupun benda tu govern by katalah KETSA, Kementerian Tenaga dan Sumber Asli. Tapi untuk ekspor ni ataupun ekspor import ni banyak lagi agensi lain yang terlibat. So macam kalau kata betul-betul dia nak buat macam tu, sebenarnya kena gubal undang-undang lah. Macam di Vietnam sendiri dia dah buat. Macam Vietnam dia tak boleh apa dia panggil semi finished good, dia tak boleh hantar keluar. Maknanya kalau mineral dia either you kena secondary, dia kena ada tertiary processing. Maknanya lepas crushing primary, secondary you kena process lagi jadi coarse powder, baru you boleh hantar ke luar negara. Dia orang dah ada law yang macam tu. Macam Malaysia, saya rasa belum ada lagi lah. Macam sekarang ni kita produk daripada jaw crusher pun kita boleh straight hantar ke negara luar. Maknanya kita boleh export. So law tu kena ada lah. Kalau kata law tak ada, memang orang akan ni sebab operator Quarry ni fikir untung je. Kalau kata dia nak secondary atau tertiary processing ni, bila dia nak jual harga dia makin mahal, dia kena employ banyak orang, margin dia makin rendah. So benda ni memang kena datang daripada government lah. Kalau kata dia ban benda tu, you tak boleh hantar lagi barang-barang raw kan. Operator terpaksa ikut lah, itu saja. Kalau kata dia nak buat lah. Tapi itulah saya cakap, disebabkan quarry industri ni bukan quarry industri yang besar, dia bukan mainstream. So tak ada pun orang yang dibawa kat parlimen. Selalunya industri quarry ni pencemar alam sekitar, itu je lah. Yang lain tak ada. Tapi sebenarnya banyak lagi isu dia. Tu saya harap lah kalau kata ada orang-orang yang ni yang boleh utarakan benda ni ke badan pihak-pihak berwajib lah, pihak-pihak yang terlibat daripada agensi kerajaan untuk bawa ke parlimen dan cakap okey, untuk improve kita punya employability ataupun nilai tambah lah pada produk kan. You buat law macam tu. Maknanya prohibit quarry ataupun ni exporter untuk export unprocessed raw material. Maknanya at least you ada secondary atau tertiary process, baru you boleh export.
Okay, mungkin soalan terakhir lah daripada kita punya audience. Okay, can a fresh graduate apply the position of quarry engineer? Mungkin lepas graduate kan macam kepinga-pinga. Boleh ke terus apply? Ke kena ada? Mesti ada train dulu kan? Ke macam mana?
Tak ada, boleh.
Oh, boleh.
Saya masuk pun junior tu rezeki saya lah, mungkin kot. Lepas interview saya terus dapat lah, alhamdulillah. Tapi kebanyakannya lah tu saya cakap, kalau kata you ada peluang fresh graduate lah, janganlah kata target MNC atau apa-apa. First kali you kena kerja, you get the experience 1-2 years. Okay, masa tu baru you boleh bargain. Maknanya you dah ada sikit experience, you dah tahu attitude bekerja macam mana proses, you dah tahu selok-belok quarry, you dah tahu sikit undang-undang, you dah ada at least bit of knowledge on the industry ataupun ni, baru you approach. Contoh you nak pergi ke MNC. Kebanyakan lah junior-junior saya yang kerja MNC ataupun kerja consultant, dia punya progression sama je. Dan janganlah expect yang you masuk terus dapat gaji besar-besar kan. Sebab kebanyakannya quarry memang dia tak offer gaji tinggi, tapi pada saya still kompetitif dengan industri lain lah. So jangan takutlah untuk minta. Maknanya jangan ada preconceived notion yang okay, you masuk ni kena ada pengalaman. Mana ada orang terus ada pengalaman.
Betul.
Memang semua
kita cari pengalaman dulu.
Kena cari pengalaman dulu. You kerja dekat quarry-quarry kecil pun tak ada masalah. You ada pengalaman, you tahu macam mana selok-belok dia, you ada pengalaman handle orang, you ada pengalaman soft skill lah, you boleh develop your soft skill lah, itu yang penting. Keduanya, ni saya nasihat kepada budak-budak yang final year kan, ataupun yang third year. Kalau kata you nak improve your punya job prospect daripada third year masa ULI tu sendiri, you kena buat something lah. Macam dulu budak-budak yang LI dengan saya, saya punya nasihat sama je. Untuk LI, kalau kebanyakannya company kat Malaysia ni, dia tak ada structure untuk, terutamalah dalam quarry industri ni, dia tak ada macam internship program. So kadang-kadang you masuk, you tak ada buat apa. You main pingpong lah, you pergi bungkus air untuk orang lah, you pergi photo state lah. So dia tak ada specific schedule untuk you follow. So benda tu merugikan. Sebab first kali pada saya, sebab USM hanya allow 10 weeks kan, lebih kurang. 10 minggu.
10 weeks, yes.
10 minggu untuk ni. 10 minggu ni pada employer kebanyakannya masa yang
Singkat.
sekejap lah. Kalau boleh dia nak 6 bulan, dia dapat labor, dapat pekerja yang low paying punya pekerja lah. Dia bayar 500-600, okay, aku boleh dapat seorang pekerja kan. Tapi pada dia tak aktif lah. So pada dia, okay, tak apalah, kau masuk SCSR, aku bayar kau ni. So you datang situ, you tak ada hala tuju. Which is sad lah, sedih lah orang kata. Tapi tu saya nasihat kepada student yang nak pergi LI, you pergi LI dengan mindset untuk belajar. You belajar je apa-apa. You pergi jumpa orang, bang, saya nak tolong ni boleh tak? Kalau sebab kat dalam quarry lah, dalam company ni kebanyakan ada data entry lah, ada buat report lah, ada buat offer diri you untuk buat benda-benda tu. Buat something. Ataupun cakap saya nak belajar pasal proses ni, okey, masuk. Benda-benda macam itulah. So you at least you ada knowledge of that industry. Lepas tu you bawa pula knowledge tu pergi ke final year project. Saya punya nasihat dulu pada seorang lah yang LI bawah saya, dia buat, saya ada satu projek untuk dia buat untuk yang berkaitan dengan industri lah. Maknanya dia buat test untuk satu material tu, characterization semua. Okay, dia buat projek tu untuk FYP dia. Saya cakap kalau you buat ni, and then masa you interview nanti, you cakap saya buat projek ni dengan company ni untuk apa-apalah. And then dia dapat kerja, terus dapat kerja sebab dia present dia punya FYP, sebab dia ada link dengan industri. Dia dapat lab juga. Dia dapat kerja lab juga. Dan dulu pun dia buat kerja FYP dia dekat lab kami juga. So you nampak situ dia ada effort lah. Dia punya ni untuk dia keluar nanti, at least dia ada something. Maknanya dia sambung dia punya LI dia sambung pula FYP dekat tempat yang sama. So you extend you punya LI, and then you dapat hasil dia dari segi FYP lah. So daripada FYP tu dia boleh present, cakap dulu saya FYP, saya LI kat sini, ini saya punya projek. So kata apa, employer akan tengok benda tu, budak ni ada ni lah. So you ada added advantage lah. Itu saja nak cakap. Kalau kata you buat macam tu, you ada added advantage lah. So untuk menjawab soalan tadi, you boleh minta, tak ada pengalaman pun tak apa. Tapi pada saya, kalau you boleh buat daripada LI lagi, you dah start. Pergi FYP, lepas FYP you dah grad, okay, you boleh pergunakan apa yang you dapat daripada FYP. Sebab unfortunately lah, sebab USM punya LI terlalu singkat sebenarnya. 10 minggu tu singkat. Tapi kita tak boleh buat apa lah, itu jadual dia kan. Kalau kata dia dapat debit, saya cakap sambung dengan FYP. Kalau kata you kerja, you buat itu, sambung dengan FYP. And then bila tu you boleh minta kerja dekat company yang sama. Kemungkinan besar. Ataupun company lain. Tapi tak ada masalah kalau kita minta as fresh graduate lah.
Okey, saya rasa tu soalan terakhir kita. Okey, sebelum kita akhiri slot ni, saya ada orang minta kata-kata last lah, one last short advice for our audience. Encik Wong masih bersama kita ke?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, ada kata-kata terakhir ke, one last short advice untuk kita punya audience, untuk kita punya student, untuk junior-junior kita?
Saya start dulu ke apa?
Boleh, mana-mana kita boleh.
Okay, kepada student dan juga kepada bakal graduan lah. Saya cakap prospek kerja ataupun ni, you jangan risau pula. First kali you kena ni adalah untuk improve yourself, improve your knowledge. Kalau kata you ada peluang dan rezeki, you tak ada masalah untuk masuk. Sebab dia punya support system dalam industri sendiri agak besar. Kebanyakannya boleh tanya Mr. Wong sendiri lah. Kebanyakannya you punya junior lah. It's a very tight-knit industri lah. Mesti pusing mana pun jumpa muka yang sama juga. Itu macam dalam industri simen, banyak senior-senior, junior-junior. Macam dalam industri quarry, banyak junior dan banyak senior dalam bidang tu. Cuma saya nak minta pada graduan, kalau you masuk industri, you rajinlah belajar, rajinlah gather experience untuk improve. Itu saja.
Okay, Mr. Wong?
Mm, maybe my advice is that first to understand your interests, whether you want to go for academic path, professional path, or you want to go for like a management path. So if you are more interested in the technical point of view, go for a technical prospect, become a IR. But if you are more on the corporate career path, so it's important that you have decide what you learn from your uni. It's a technical. This is a technical foundation for you. But what you need to build on top of your technical foundation is your management skill, your soft skill. So I will say if you want to go higher, further on the higher management or the business world, you might go for something as a, if you are in the operation side, try to go for lean management, Six Sigma. This will be very helpful for the operations road path. If you are on the business, try to go for MBA. This is something will be very helpful if you will go for the higher management level. So you can have a very good technical foundation. At the same time, you have a very good management skill with all those things that you build up on top. Yeah.
Okay. Okey, dengan short advice yang diberikan oleh speaker kita, maka berakhirlah slot kita pada hari ini. Okey, jutaan terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada Mr. Wong dan Encik Luqman di atas perkongsian yang sangat-sangat ringkas, sangat padat lah, sangat bermanfaat bagi kami. Okey, terima kasih sebab sudi meluangkan masa sebab masing-masing busy kerja kan. Terima kasih kerana sudi cari masa untuk bersama-sama kami hari ini. Okey, diharapkan perkongsian itu tadi membuka mata banyak pihak tentang betapa pentingnya program kita ini. Okey, saya harap Encik Wong dan Encik Luqman tak jemu untuk collaborate lagi dengan kami next time. Boleh ke?
Sure, okay.
Okey, terima kasih Encik Wong, Encik Luqman.
Bye. Thank
Okey.
you.
Okey, untuk para hadirin, terdapat banyak lagi perkongsian yang lebih menarik menanti anda. Untuk slot ketiga, esok pagi bermula jam 10 pagi. Thank you semua dan stay safe.
Earth, home sweet home. Have you ever wondered how vast the treasure that exists within the earth? It is beyond amazing on how much the earth keeps this treasure deep within itself. Tin, copper, and even gold are actually all originate from our sweet big home. Well, those are what we call as minerals. Speak about gold and stuff. Exactly, who are the ones that discovered the magnificent treasure of the earth? Now, that is the job for mineral resource engineers. Let's find out more about mineral resource engineering. I am Aainaa and I'm your virtual student assistant. Alright, mineral resource engineering focuses on areas of extraction and processing of the earth's mineral resource through the aspect of technical, environmental, and economic. Mineral resource engineering also prepares the engineer for a career in advanced mine design and planning, ground control, processing techniques, and drilling engineering. These are the fundamentals to extract the Earth's precious discovery. Wow! So, how to become a successful mineral resource engineer? Whoa, this one look interesting. Let's click this one.
University Science Malaysia is the only university in Malaysia that offers this amazing course. Be proud because USM is one of the leading universities with excellence in mind. USM stands among the great name in Asia with the ranking of 34th and 142nd in the world according to the QS ranking in 2021. School of Material and Mineral Resource Engineering are located in a very strategic and conducive location in Penang. It is near the famous tri-border of three states, which is Nibong Tebal, Penang, Parit Bota, Perak, and Bandar Baharu, Kedah. Your study will take around 8 semesters, which is almost 4 years. For first year, you will learn about the foundational concepts such as physics, maths, coding, and drawing. In second year, you will learn about the introduction of mining, mineral processing, and mineralogy. In your third year, you will learn physical and chemical mineral processing, modeling and simulation, and also mineral economics. And in your final year study, you will learn on mining engineering peripheries, mine plan and design, and also internship. And the best about mineral resource engineering in USM is that you will get the opportunity to have industrial visits in every semester. So, what are you waiting for? Join us now and discover endless potential by being a successful mineral resource engineer. #MyResUSM. See you there. Thank you for watching.
Dr. Iman ada apa-apa lagi ke?
Boleh left kot. Dah kan? Okay.
Okay. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you
Terima
Aainaa.
kasih
Thank
doktor.
you
Terima kasih
Hasrina.
Aainaa.
Okay, boleh rehat dah. Okay, okay.